So I've got a pretty big disappointment right now. Worked really hard for the past couple of days setting up the control board. And we're alive. Okay. But the V out is no good. It's not forward regulating. It's bleeding the negative voltage onto the supply rail, which it could do up to 0 volts, but it's really supposed to be 0 going positive. If it's over correcting the one direction, which is to say if the circuit's not balanced right, then yeah, you'll probably see negative voltage coming out. So this is a pretty big setback. I worked up until now on this board for a while. We've got the plus and minus 12 in there, and the 6.2 is actually the reference voltage on this design. There's some that's 2.4, and there's many reference designs out there that have different voltages, but this one's 6.2. And pretty major setback right now. I think what I'll do is I'll probably go back and apply a voltage to the base and see if we pass voltage to the front posts. That it should 0.7 volts here should forward bias the whole thing, and we should see some voltage on the posts. So there's some imbalance here, and that's pretty typical. We may have to go to the Rev C board, which this is from Rev C. This one did work. Same circuit. Some of the stuff is on the board here. The only problem is this one's DC input only, whereas this one has the rectifier and everything's built into it. So I'm going to have to come up with an external power source for the Rev C board. But this is just the Rev D prototype board. It's not an enormous setback, but it's still a setback. The other thing to remember is these things rarely turn on the first time anyway, so this is pretty typical for this kind of a problem. And I don't have the tap selects are not. The tap selects are not even built in yet either. So this is really a third of a power supply, and it really doesn't. It's really not worth a damn until the actual control board's actually working. So this is just a toy at the moment until we got actual control. So we'll keep trying and try not to be too discouraged. Even though I put 3 days into this board trying to be careful and solder everything in correctly. It's probably just a value's not correct, because I was playing with some values back and forth and it's not optimized yet. So there is that too. It's got to be not optimized yet, or I might have wired something backwards, something like that. So it's unfortunate. We got power and we're stuck on constant current. We shouldn't be stuck on. We should be able to clear that. It should flip, but it's not adjusted in yet, so it's not happy. So that's where we're at right now. This is pretty ambitious though, but I have been cranking on these for a while. It's not the first. Like I said, this is D, so this is like 4th gen. So I have, this is tap select circuit. This only has 2 on there for 3 taps. And then of course there's another power board and the LEDs for the relays for the tap select. So yeah, this is not the first go around at this. It might just be that the base control transistor may not be firing correctly, may not be biasing properly. So I don't know at the moment. We may be probably reverse biased, and that's why it's not working properly. So well, this is the hard part, is you're doing things in basics and then you have to go even more basic on top of that. It's always a hard pill to swallow. How basic does basic need to be in order to succeed? Pretty painful stuff here. Anyway, that's it for now. I wish I had a working power supply to show you guys, but yeah, who knows?